Welcome to Child Abuse Awareness with Darlene J. Clark. Be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Welcome to my channel. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment and hit the thumbs up, please. Do appreciate it. Hey there, good to see you. Jackie, hello, bucket list. Good to see y'all. Thanks for coming. These are important issues that we need to bring awareness to. See the tip line on the bottom of my screen. To make a cyber tip line report, visit report.cybertip.org. So y'all be sure if y'all have that link written down as an important place to notify someone in case someone is being victimized. I want to have that scrolling. Excuse me. I'm going to scroll that at the bottom. Edited, I guess. I didn't scroll a minute ago when I told it to. There we go. That should make it better there. So we always start off with some Bible verses. Matthew 18, verse 6, But whoso shall fear one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Matthew 18, verse 10, Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones, for I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. Colossians 3:21, Fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged. That is so true. Uplift your children, people. Uplift them. Isaiah 1:17, Learn to do right. Seek justice. Defend the oppressed. Take out the cause of the fatherless. Plead the case of the widow. So a lot of y'all said we just need to be silent. Say it's not Christian-like to be talking about this. No, but here's a prime example of learn to do right. Seek justice. That is a perfect example, and it says it right there in the Bible. Learn to do right. Seek justice. Defend the oppressed. Take out the cause of the fatherless and plead the case of the widow. Don't just sit by. Don't just keep letting it happen. You are part of the problem if you just turn your back and you remain silent. Proverbs 28, verse 5, Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. Amen. I'm breaking up. Maybe I need to move it further away. Is that any better? I think I had it too close to the put this further away from me right here. Is this any better now? Appreciate y'all. Without further ado, y'all know that I'm going over different topics in the missing kids issues information. So I will share my screen now. It's better now. Okay. I had it in my lap. I shouldn't have never had it. Had my laptop in my lap. This one is from, like I said, missingkids.org. The issues, this issue is sextortion. A lot of people are wondering what sextortion is. Let me take it to the top up here. Break it down. There's a lot of information up here. Sextortion is a form of child sexual exploitation where children are threatened or blackmailed, most often with the possibility of sharing with the public a nude or sexual images of them by a person who demands additional sexual content, sexual activity, or money from the child. This crime may happen when a child has shared an image with someone they thought they knew or trusted, but in many cases they are targeted by an individual they met online who obtained a sexual image from the child through deceit, coercion, or some other method. And I want to say that some adults fall victim of this too. So be careful. You might think it's someone that you know, and it could be a scammer. I never put out any kind of sexual images online. In many cases, the blackmailers may have stolen or taken images of another person and they are communicating through a fake account. The blackmailer may have sent images as well. Hold on a second. A minute. Oh, well, I'll call that person back in a minute. I'm trying to reach him for a couple of days, but NCMEC has seen a dramatic increase in sextortion cases being reported to our cyber tip line, especially financial sextortion where the offender demands money from the child. Teenage boys have been the most common targets in these recent cases. If this has happened to you, it may feel overwhelming or like there is no way out, but there is hope. Know that you are not alone, and NCMEC is here to help. Thank you, NCMEC. What to do? If you or a friend have experienced sextortion, there are some steps you can take now to make things better. Remember, the blackmailer is to blame, not you. Even if you made a choice you regret, what they are doing is a crime. Get help before deciding whether to pay money or otherwise comply with the blackmailer. Cooperating or paying rarely stops the blackmail. Plus, they want to keep getting your images where they can sell it. Sometimes it ain't about money. Sometimes it's about selling your photos online in the black market. Report the account via the platform safety feature. Block the suspect, but do not delete your profile or messages because that can be helpful in stopping the blackmailer. Y'all see that? Block the suspect, but do not delete your profile or messages. Okay? Remember that. Let NCMEC help get images of you down. Visit missingkids.org is your explicit content out there. To learn how to notify companies yourself or visit cybertipline.org to report to us for help with the process. So yes, it's simpler to go through cybertipline.org and they can help you with the process of getting this explicit content out of there and making sure yours is not out there as well. Visit Take It Down so NCMEC can help you get your explicit images removed from the internet. Having nudes online is scary, but there is hope to get them taken down. Ask for help. The problems can be very complex and require help from adults or professionals. If you don't feel that you have adults in your corner, you can reach out to NCMEC for support at gethelp.ncmec.org or you can call us at 1-800 the lost. Okay, so I need to at least put that in the messages as well. Go ahead and have this in there. We have bad weather today. Oh, okay. Hope that y'all stay okay. I'm going to go in here and hopefully that will let me put the whole thing out here on. Get down here. See. There it is. The whole thing is scrolling across the bottom there now. So please remember this information. Okay. Excuse me. Healthy relationships. The Healthy Relationships video can help youth identify exploitive or unhealthy behaviors in relationships that are often a part of various kinds of victimization, such as online enticement, sextortion, and child sex trafficking. I'm going to get y'all to watch these different videos here. And so first I've got to mute myself. Thank you so much. Look at this. Like I said, I don't mind showing how to do this. So if y'all have this app, a StreamYard, this is what you got to do before you play a video so that you're not hurt.
The typical social media post. Each snapshot shares a glimpse of your life with the world. But what happens outside the post? Just like pictures, people may not always be what they seem. Would you recognize the red flags? Take the classic selfie, for example. You might feel adored, but love bombing can also be a red flag.
Thank you.
Things are moving fast. You think this is great, but is it? Then the manipulation. You'll feel shame for hanging out with others and not him.
Wish you were here. Oh, I'm sorry.
And then he takes control.
Oh. Thank you.
Things are moving fast. You think this is great, but is it? Then the manipulation. You'll feel shame for hanging out with others and not him.
Wish you were here. Oh, I'm sorry.
And then he takes control.
Oh.
Hey, Titi, are you alright? Hey, do you need to check that?
No, but I think I need to talk to you.
Some red flags in relationships can lead to more serious issues like exploitation. To learn more, visit ncmec.org/sextortion.
Talk about that video we just watched, okay? What do you think about how he was setting her up? You look hot. You look great. That was motivating and bringing her up, right? That was setting her up. That was what is that we call grooming? And making the child feel like they're special. And then they started getting demanding and acting jealous and making the teen feel like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not spending as much attention to you. I'm here. Oh, are you on a date? All this other kind of stuff. It's none of that person's business. They don't know you. Warning signs, people. Warning signs. Please be aware. And I've even, I kind of laugh about it. It's sad because even as an adult, I had these guys doing this crap to me. Like, no, heck no. So they even tried to get us adults. So beware of that. All right? So get back and stop the voice again.
I am a survivor of sextortion.
I felt embarrassed and ashamed. Was it my fault?
I felt like I had no control over what was happening to me.
Like, I didn't know this happened to guys, too.
I thought I was gonna get in trouble if my parents found out.
I thought there was no way out.
If someone is threatening you over underage nude or sexual images online, there is hope. Learn more and get help at nicmic.org/sextortion.
It had to be going back and forth like that, eh? Okay, so I just downloaded this PDF of healthy relationships. So let's go over this, right? That was the first video that we went over, okay? These discussion questions are meant to help spark conversation after watching the video. Unhealthy behaviors in relationships can mimic grooming behaviors, which may lead to child exploitation, such as online enticement, sextortion, and child sex trafficking. By all means, parents, go to this website. I think this is another important thing to discuss with your children. Have these discussions about these issues. Watch the video and then have the discussion. Show them it's not their fault that there's creeps out there. By having an open dialogue about preventing unhealthy relationships with children, adults can help them develop critical thinking skills and develop trusted relationships that could help protect them from online exploitation and other forms of victimization. Why should you take the time to get to know someone online and offline before you trust them? Let participants, children, come up with some ideas. Usually when we start talking to or dating someone we like, everything seems wonderful at first. However, we all have flaws and make mistakes. Initially, we feel excitement about talking to them, and we might want to speed up the getting to know each other process. However, keep in mind that taking the time to get to know each other is important. It can help us to learn about who they are. It takes time to learn about the other person's interests, friends, hobbies, family, dreams, values, likes, and dislikes. Sometimes when we meet people, we may think we have a lot in common, but after we get to know them, we learn that this isn't true. Another important reason on getting to know the person before a meeting is building the trust. This is essential to having a healthy relationship. Learn about the person's values, how they react to different situations, how they deal with emotions. Okay, if they got to explode every time you go to ask a question or they act short with you, that is not somebody you need to meet. How they solve problems and how they treat others. How they make us feel in different circumstances and how they communicate. Building trust takes effort and requires time. Remember to also let your kids know that somebody will end up saying, well, you made me do this, you made me feel like this, so that a teenager can easily be manipulated into feeling like it's their fault when it's not. It is not the teenager's fault for whatever this perpetrator is doing or feeling. That's one of their ploys in getting what they wanting. Explore your feelings. Sometimes we can have strong initial chemistry or attraction for some people, but that initial excitement fades and we might realize that it was only a crush. Take time to explore your own feelings. When meeting someone, you'll learn about yourself and how you actually feel about the other person. In the video, it seems like the boy gets upset with the girl very often. What do you think about the relationship dynamics? Oh, exactly. Tell me what y'all's take on that. So, what do you think about the relationship dynamics there? I'll let y'all give y'all time to answer that. Y'all tell me what y'all feel. I think you pretty much said it, Jackie, when you said excellent information. That's what everybody's safeguarding. That guy had an explosive personality. He had a controlling. He would not. She didn't even know him or anything, and he was right there. Oh, you got a boyfriend already? Trying to intimidate her. Here are some tips for healthy conflict resolution and possible red flags for relationships both online and offline. Stay calm even while disagreeing with the other person. It is okay to feel angry, sad, or frustrated. You should not feel scared, unsafe, threatened, or guilty. Focus on fixing the problem, not winning the argument. Especially like online, you don't want to continue communication. You want to try to get help immediately though. But on regular relationships in person, if focus on fixing the problem and not winning the argument, manipulation, guilt trips, and undermining are tactics used to take control over the situation or relationship. Pay attention to these behaviors as they are big red flags that can lead to more serious issues. Hello there, Dragon. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Set healthy boundaries. Communicate what you feel and assert. Give and receive respect. Do not agree to do something because you feel pressure to do so or because you don't want to upset the other person or feel forced or manipulated into doing so. Take a break when you or the other person are fighting. Arguing with one or both parties or disrespecting each other can cause a lot of emotional harm. If you are not able to take a break because the other person does not allow you, and if you feel emotionally drained, insulted, or threatened during an argument or in a relationship, go to an adult for help and reach out to friends for support. Take responsibility for your actions and work together toward a solution. Look for a compromise that works for both of you, but on this sextortion, there's no compromise. This is about healthy relationships. I'm building a healthy relationship. But with the sextortion, this is different. Emphasize that facing issues, disagreements, and conflicts is a normal aspect of relationships. But if they are not experiencing healthy conflict resolution, Where conflict happens constantly, they should talk to a trusted adult about it. This might be a red flag or an indication of a more serious issue, such as having a controlling or abusive relationship. In the video, we can see that the girl doesn't feel content with the relationship, but she seems to have a hard time letting go. Can you share some barriers that might keep someone from letting a person go who is not making them happy? Let participants share their answers. Here's possible answers. Fear of being alone. Fear of changing their mind after breaking up. Feeling that they can't end it. Feeling pulled back in. Feeling responsible for the other person's safety. The other person threatens or blackmails you. Feeling like the other person does not let you end things. Remind them that healthy relationships make you feel safe, heard, respected, confident, connected, understood, and overall happy. If you are in a relationship that makes you feel isolated, guilty, or scared, but you can't seem to let go, talk to a trusted adult. Like one time I was talking to a guy I was going to meet, even as an adult. Like I said, we had these issues on the dating scene. This guy told me that if we got together, I was not allowed to leave the house without him. I was now not allowed to have any other man in my life, so I would not be allowed to have my kids. So there's a red flag right there. You been through this? I'm so sorry, Dragon. You probably got answers for these questions right here, don't you? Lots of love to you. Everybody give her some love. Give her some hearts. Dragon Mama. You shouldn't feel responsible for that person's well-being, and you should never feel guilty or emotionally unable to let go in a relationship. We love you, Dragon Mama. Yes, all relationships have their ups and downs, and there are times when we feel angry, sad, disappointed, jealous, and even a bit insecure. But those feelings should be brief and associated with a specific time and circumstance. If any relationship makes you feel isolated, constantly guilty, or scared, talk to a trusted adult about it. If you are currently, or if you have ever been in a relationship that makes you feel scared, depressed, discouraged, controlled, or anxious, or if you experience other strong negative emotions, talk to someone like a school counselor, a trusted adult, or a therapist. And here's healthy relationships. What would you tell a friend who shared with you that they are in an unhealthy relationship? What would you tell them? Allow participants' children to share their opinions. Emphasize the following. Here's some prime examples, right? Thank them for trusting you, right? Ask them how you can support them. Acknowledge their fear, the fact that thinking of ending things with someone can be hard and a scary decision to make. Tell them you believe them and they can get through this. It was tough getting through it, wasn't it, Dragon? I don't know how old you were when all this happened to you. But like I said, it does happen to adults as well, not just kids. So I don't know if you went through this as a kid or as an adult as well. Show them that you will be there for them. Encourage them to seek help by talking to a school counselor or a therapist. You should also talk to a trusted adult to help you. A trusted friend, especially. It's like I started healing when I found a therapist who believed me. Like no one else believed me. No one else had faith in me. But there's one therapist that was a bad therapist, but when I found the therapist that did believe me, what I was saying, that's when I started healing from a lot of this sick, twisted stuff. What are some red flags in the video? It is love bombing, controlling behavior, trying to isolate the girl from her friends and family. The girl feels unhappy as though something isn't right in the relationship. The boy shows strong emotions and demands why the girl isn't hanging out with him. Because a lot of times it could even be a man. It could not even be a boy. She thinks it's probably a boy. It's probably like I said, a man. Oh, bless your heart. If you ever want to talk, feel free to look me up. I don't know if we're friends on Facebook or whatever. Let participants' children share their. I'm also at WhatsApp, but I can't give out my WhatsApp on here, but let participants' children share their answers, emphasize the following: feeling safe and secure, feeling content and fulfilled, feeling proud of yourself, feeling supported in your dreams and goals, feeling like your partner complements your life, but not like your partner completes or saves your life. Oh boy, there's a lot of touch spots on me too. Oh no. Oh no, we definitely need to talk. Then there's resources for victims of teen dating violence that it came up too. See, there's dating violence prevention. All this break the cycle, love and respect. So that's also at youth.gov. If you see that right there. So we watched the video on I Am a Survivor of Sextortion. So let's get the discussion guide for that, okay? This video shows some of the feelings that children may experience while going through sextortion or other forms of victimization and how those feelings kept them from reaching out for help. We hope that this video will demonstrate that sextortion is not their fault and that help is available to them. They should never face this alone. After watching the video, discuss some of the questions below. Listen, learn from them, empathize, and let them know that you are there to help. What were some of the feelings the survivors experienced? Me too, that's all I have. Oh, how old are you babies? We're here for you, sweeties. We're here for you. Are you able to make phone calls or anything like that out as well? Some of the feelings were fear, shame, and guilt. It's crucial to reassure your child that it's normal to have intense emotions when experiencing sextortion. At the same time, it's equally as important to empathize that help is available and that if they ever experience sextortion, they are not alone. Make it clear they're not to blame and that you will help and support them regardless of the circumstances if they are ever victimized. Sextortion is especially devastating for teens because they are deeply influenced by emotions and highly value their reputation among their peers as they are exploring their independence and role in society. Support and guidance are vital to help teens navigate this challenging situation and mitigate its impact on their well-being and future. When discussing the potential risk of sending explicit images or messages, please provide resources they can use and share with their friends for help, such as Take It Down and Cyber Tip Line. Let your child know that in the unfortunate event that something goes wrong, you are there to help and support them. Do you identify with some of the feelings mentioned in the video? Have you also experienced some of these feelings when facing a problem? What do you do to cope with these emotions? To help manage strong emotions, suggest activities like taking a short walk, listening to music, or practicing breathing exercises when they're feeling frustrated or angry. Taking such a break can help them make a better decision than those influenced by emotions. Help your children recognize, understand, and manage their emotions, letting them know that feelings are a normal part of life, that many kids and teens go through similar emotional experiences. Encourage them to explore and develop healthy ways to cope with their emotions and help them create a plan for managing strong feelings. By providing them with coping strategies, you can empower them to navigate their emotions in a positive and constructive way that reduces impulsive decision making and helps them develop resiliency, critical thinking, and coping strategies. I am a survivor of sextortion. Yes. Hello, Stuart. Dragon, if you want to, you can write me at Clark, CLARK, dot Darlene, dot J at gmail.com and title it, hey, this is Drag Mama from YouTube. Okay? Let me know who you are. So then, okay? Some barriers may include feeling embarrassed, guilty, or scared of getting in trouble. Some kids describe feeling like there's no way out or adults would not help. They feel like they're to blame. Hugs there, Stuart. Thank you for coming. Validate their feelings and reassure them that although it can be difficult to reach out for help sometimes, you are there for them and reaching out for them will make it better. As a trusted adult, your job is to support the child and show compassion. Make sure that you do not use judgmental or victim blaming language. Use what instead of why question, so you need some help. Yeah, don't ask them, why did you do this? Don't put on that blame. The adult's to blame. The child isn't to blame. This other person knows what the heck they're doing. Unfortunately, your child fell into a trap, but it's not their fault. Thank them for trusting you. Thank them for coming to you and telling them there's a problem. You don't want your kids to end up one of these missing kids as well. What are 4 things you could say or do if a friend reaches out for help in a similar situation? Number 1, be supportive. Let them know that help is available and assure them that you're there for them. Reach out and check on them and offer a listening ear. 2, remind them that it is not their fault, that other kids who have experienced similar situations were better equipped to overcome the circumstances when they sought help. Help them report it on the site app and cybertipline.org. Help them identify trusted adults in their lives who can help them, such as a relative, teacher, or a counselor. We aim for children to be upstanders and support each other. Our goal is to steer children away from victim blaming and to discourage tolerance or participation in victimization by their peers. Help them grow and practice empathy towards others. Another thing, can you name some possible silver linings when going through an experience like this? Okay, like the things that happened to me. Also, I guess I could use these positive things as well. personal resilience. You may discover your inner strength and resilience, learning more about your capacity to bounce back from adversity and gain wisdom from the experience. Strengthen relationships. Experiences support and love during tough times can lead to stronger bonds with those who stood by you. It may also result in the development of new friendships based on shared experiences. Discover new things, experiences, and goals. Sometimes, when facing difficult situations, opportunities for self expansion and the pursuit of new goals arise, expanding our horizons. This can open the door to new opportunities, such as becoming an advocate for others, serving as a role model, or uncovering previously unknown interests and passions. Become a role model or advocate. Many who have experienced victimization or adversity have become leaders in their community, fearless advocates for change, and exceptional role models for others. Encouraging your child to reflect on these potential positive outcomes is crucial for fostering a sense of hope and optimism amid challenging situations. Such reflection may also help mitigate negative crisis reactions or feelings of hopelessness. Many survivors have expressed feelings of hopelessness as if their future was ruined out or there was no way out. We want our children to know that even in the midst of a horrible situation, things can get better and some positive things can come out of it. Okay. So now we'll go to the third thing, and I've got to mute my mic again.
Let's go! Get your head in the game! Come on, Nico, hustle up!
Yo, Nico! Yo, Nico! Dude, why are you smiling like that?
Hey! Come on now, this girl just messaged me.
Why does she look so familiar?
I checked. She's also friends with Alex, Drew, and...
Mateo.
Yeah, he probably wasn't her type. Quick, what should I say next?
You should block her next.
What? No, man, you're crazy.
I thought I was with Mateo, but then I heard what happened to him.
Oh man, no, this is different.
Nico, she's not real. Mateo also thought she was super cute and sent her the photos she wanted. But as soon as he did, they demanded money, threatening him to show the whole school those pics.
Uh-oh.
I think it's called sextortion. You remembered what happened next, right?
This can't be happening to me.
No, man, this is different. I checked, we have friends in common.
Let me guess. She said something like, if you show me yours, I'll show you mine.
What the? I'll just tell her no.
She'll keep pressuring you if you message her. Here. First, we'll block their account and report them on the app and to the cyber tip line. Then, you should change your profile name, but do not delete your account. Don't worry, you can take control back.
Thanks, Luis.
You can thank me later, after I beat you on this field. Take back control. Talk to a trusted adult. Visit nicmec.org/sextortion.
Okay, I have to look at it a little bit. Yeah, I'll look at it a little bit, okay? Because I'm sure you don't want it shown on here. Is this the one we just... Yeah. So let's discuss this one right here. How did Nico initially feel about the girl who messaged him online? See, this video is called Sextortion, highlights some red flags to look for. Its purpose is to describe what sextortion is, how it can happen, and to promote bystander behaviors among peers. The video also provides guidance on what to do if you receive inappropriate requests or if you experience sextortion. After watching the video, you can use these questions to engage in a mindful conversation with kids about sextortion. Encourage them to think critically about the issue, help them develop safer choices, reassure them that you are there to support them, and offer additional resources. So, how did he initially feel on there? Can you answer that? Then he really felt flattered, didn't he? He felt excited for somebody that looked so good. That he felt like he could trust her because had some of the similar contacts. Emphasize that feeling excited, curious, and wanted are normal and healthy ways to feel about someone. But we also have to be careful as we know people online may not be who they say they are. Why was Lewis suspicious of the girl who reached out to Matteo and Nico? And is it important to trust your gut intuition or feelings? Lewis was suspicious when the girl reached out to Lewis and identified some red flags. For example, she was very forthcoming, saying things like, "If you show me yours, I'll show you mine." Well, I think we all heard that. Some guys, and we block them. Lewis also doubted his feelings about the girl. He mentioned he thought he was being crazy when she reached out to Mateo. Maybe he doubted his initial feelings, but later he witnessed what happened to his friend. It's important to trust what we feel, and if something does not feel right, we should talk to a trusted adult. Developing relationships online is a normal aspect of social development for children. It is challenging to discern people's intentions, whether we know them online or offline. That's why it's important not to hide your account from your parents. Your parents need to know whatever's going on because these perpetrators, they need to be able to protect you from these perpetrators. It's too good to be true. That's right. When combined with a normal curiosity, excitement, and the need to explore relationships, it becomes more difficult to identify people's intentions. Just like in the video, the red flags were subtle and hard to recognize as such. Helping our children trust their feelings and encouraging them to come and talk to us is an important prevention tool. Now, I do that a lot of times. Like if I get a friend request, I look to see if they got a friend in common. And like if it's got just one of my friends in common, and I see that I go and look at the profile, evaluate what they're into. If they got a lot of girls on there that shows cleavage and stuff, no block. If it's a person that's got advocacy on there that's for child abuse and all this talks like that, or talks about helping others, I go ahead and I accept them. Um, if this person is bona fide true to who they claim they are. Um, Especially like if they got 30 to 40 of my similar contacts. There was one guy who was bad that had about 30 or 40 of my contacts, but he was wanting a relationship, so that was another one of those crazy people. But he was going by from somebody's friend list and added all her friends. So that's why he was developing a lot of the same contacts. So then I had to go through there and, of course, block his, but I didn't want to hear it. So it don't matter whether they got some of the similar contacts a lot of times too. Saying that. Why isn't checking mutual friends a good way to verify whether someone you connect with online is who they say they are? It is often easy for offenders to determine mutual friends online. Offenders can send friend requests to people who are friends to make it look like you have mutual friends. Unfortunately, law enforcement officers have seen this tactic used many times to gain the trust of teenagers in order to victimize them. Now, I have a friend that I guess he knew somebody years and years ago. So last year, or the year before last, this person reached out to him and said, I want to come see you. You know, we haven't seen each other in a long time. So he really thought it was the same girl because it was her profile. But instead, her profile got hacked and he sent her money. So he ended up losing that money because of the fact, of all that. So be very careful, people. Make sure you get to see him on video. That's something he did not do. Make sure that you say, okay, I want to see who you are. Open your video, per se. Prove who you are. What can you do to verify someone is who they say online? Here we go again. This can be difficult to do, but one way to be more confident that someone you met online is who they say they are would be to look for mutual friends you know offline and ask them about the new connection. If you aren't able to talk to anyone who knows a new person in real life, it is best to proceed with extreme caution. If you decide to communicate with them, do not share any sensitive information or pictures and consider blocking their ability to send you direct or private messages. Do not rely on profile pictures or other pictures posted on someone's social media account, as these are not reliable. Anyone can take pictures. And I'm just thinking about how with the Solomon case, the Eric Solomon type of thing, he probably got reputable people, that's his contacts and everything, but I would not want him as a friend. I would not. After what he did to his daughter, after what he did to other girls in that school or the PE, dressed up, the PE goes and takes pictures of them and then tries to talk with them uh, on social media and stuff. So just because they might have a good account, we don't know if somebody's a pedophile or predator as well. So we've got to be extra careful on who you add and who you talk to on these social sites. What would you say to a friend that received a request like the one in the video? Would you say be supportive and avoid making them feel bad? Talk about the risk associated with sending a nude image. Explain that engaging in sexting can lead to sextortion, another form of child exploitation. Encourage them to take time and think carefully before making any decision. Advise them to say no. If the requester gets upset and reacts negatively towards them, that should be a red flag about the person's intentions. Assist in reporting the incidents both on the app and to cybertipline.org. Help your friend identify a trusted adult who can offer support. Emphasize that it is always risky to send a nude or explicit image because it gets impossible to control where the picture goes after you send it, and because anyone who has your image can use it to threaten or intimidate you. It is. You're correct. It's called sextortion. Consider these tips when interacting with other people online. Mutual friendship is not a reliable way to verify identity. Having mutual friends is not a reliable way. If you share friends, call some of them to ask about the person making the request. How do they know them? How long have they known them? They ever interacted with this person offline? Caution with profile pictures. Asking for pictures or relying on profile pictures is not foolproof. Now, I know sometimes some of these guys will say, can you send me a new, not a nude, but a new picture of yourself? I like my profile picture is new enough, right? No, but I want one. I want you to send me a picture of you every day. I don't have the time to send you a picture of me every day. I didn't really know this jerk, and the jerk says, I want you to send me a picture of you every day. I was not going to fall for that. Asking for pictures or relying on profile pictures is not foolproof. People can use fake images, and with advancing artificial intelligence technology and creating convincing fake pictures is becoming easier. It's essential to take time to get to know someone and let a genuine relationship develop over time. Progressing to sensitive or intimate topics quickly is a potential red flag or warning sign about the other person's intentions, especially if the other person is pressuring you to engage in sexual conversation or send sexual images. I get tired of the men that say, "Oh, but we're adults now." Yeah, we may be adults now, but as an adult, I now have a choice as to whether I'm going to do it or not. Back when I was a kid, a lot of things were forced upon me that I had no choice. But as an adult, I have a choice. So I say, heck no. Beware of falsified personas. People who seek to harm children and teenagers online often create fake profiles. Follow or friend multiple people who are connected to each other online and learn about the interests of the person they intend to victimize in order to create a sense of safety and trust. It's crucial to understand that even though these personas make the person seem like a friend or an interesting person to flirt with or date, everything they are feeling and showing you online could be fake. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of somebody that was saying that, oh, I like singing karaoke too. I go quite a bit. I said, where you live? Oh, I live such and such. I said, do you go to a bar or where do you go? Oh, yeah, I go to a bar. And then they say they live in such and such and they go in that town. Well, you guess what? I know all the bars there. I used to live there. But guess what? That person lied. And then when I started talking more to them, they said, no, as I said, I just want to go to karaoke, but I've never been. And so the stories change. And they try to make it out like you misunderstood them. Yet you got it in previous writing up here that they said, oh, I've been to the bars, I've been up there, I've been singing for years and years. And then all of a sudden they're changing their story. Oh, I've never been, but I've been wanting to go, right? Responsibility for sextortion. Even when a child sends explicit images and this leads to sextortion, it is not their fault. The blame lies with the offender's actions. Furthermore, NCMEC has also seen cases where the victims never shared nudes, but instead, offenders created fake pictures. You hear that? They created fake pictures or hacked their computers to obtain compromising images. Therefore, it's important for everyone to remember not to place blame or shame on a victim of sextortion, but instead focus on supporting and helping them. It's called sextortion. Some notes about generative artificial intelligence. GAI is becoming increasingly popular with offenders. They can create explicit content and use it to victimize the children. Y'all see that? What is important to know about children facing victimization? It doesn't matter if the image is real or created by artificial intelligence. Images that are nude, sexually explicit, and or depict the sexual abuse of a child are harmful to the child, no matter how they are created. Upstanders play a major role. If you receive an image or video of someone, delete the content. If it is safe, reach out to the person who sent it to you and let them know that they are victimizing someone. Additionally, tell a trusted adult, report the content, and reach out to the victim to let them know you are there for them. What are 4 things that you can do to protect yourself in a situation with Marios? Talk to a trusted adult. trust adults whether the child created the content or not. It is the responsibility of adults to protect them, believe them, and support them. Although there is value in talking to friends if they can provide support in these situations, you should talk to a trusted adult who can help you navigate the situation, as sextortion is a crime. Report on the app and on the cyber tip line. So report the issue both within the app and through the cyber tip line. Do not delete your account. Avoid deleting your account, as you will be deleting evidence. Do you think your content is already online, but you don't know where? If you suspect your content is already online, you can take control back by visiting takeitdown.org. So let me go back to here. There's red flags. Those involved in the sextortion of children often approach a child on social media after using it to learn about the child's interests, friends, school, family, etc. They move quickly and ask for nudes immediately after following or friended a child on a social media platform. They intentionally move their communications from the child from one online platform to another, moving from social media to private video chat or messaging apps. From a dating site, a lot of these stupid guys ask me, well, you got Messenger? I'm not really here online at this site too much, so can you please give me your email, or please give me your phone number, please? No, thank you. These offenders may use tactics to coerce a child, including reciprocation. I'll show you if you show me. Boy, have we heard that over the years. Haven't we, everybody? Pretending to work for a modeling agency to obtain sexual images of the child. Promising to promote the child, thinking you're beautiful. You got style. I will put your pictures to the modeling agency and see what they think. Developing a bond with the child by establishing a friendship, romantic relationship. Using multiple false online identities to contact the child. Pretending to be younger and or a member of the opposite sex. Assessing the child's online account without authorization and stealing sexual images or videos of the child. Threatening to create sexual images or videos of the child using digital editing tools. By the numbers. In 2023, the cyber tip line received 186,819 reports of online enticement, a category that includes sextortion. Now, just because it says they receive that many cases, we know that a lot of cases do not get reported, so the numbers are far greater than this. Between 2021 and 2023, the number of online enticement reports increased by 323%. And there, 50 Shades, good to see you. Thanks for coming. See how much it grown, y'all? In just 2 years, the reports, the number of online enticement reports increased by 323%. And I was watching this one thing online where this guy was a predator in, I think it was Oklahoma, but he wasn't given the sex offender where he had to be on the registry because they did not look at enticing a child as a sex crime. Can y'all believe that? In Oklahoma. So that's why they're now trying to pass that certain new law out there, which I had a video about that recently. Thanks to traders amongst. That is crazy, isn't it? Scary as heck. What NCMEC is doing about it, creating a place to report. NCMEC's cyber tip line provides the public and electronic service providers with the ability to report multiple forms of suspected child sexual exploitation, including sextortion and online enticement. After NCMEC's review is completed, all information in cyber tip line report is made available to the appropriate law enforcement agencies. Let's say to make a cyber tip line report, visit, I got it scrolling at the bottom of the page. Helping the victims take back control. Is a sexually explicit image of you or your child out there? Learn how to contact the internet service providers and platforms to help mitigate the spread of the image of how NCMEC can help in that process. Visit, is your explicit content out there today? Or like it said, you can actually contact the reportcybertip.org and they can help you through the processes. You can also visit Take It Down, a free service that can help you get your explicit images removed from the internet. Having nudes online is crazy, scary. There's hope to get them taken down. Preventing abuse through education. NEC's Digital Citizenship and Safety Program, Net Smarts, is an innovative education program that utilizes games, animated videos, classroom-based lesson plans, activities, and much more to help empower children to make safer choices online. This program addresses the issue of sextortion in age-appropriate ways. Examples of resources include videos and discussion guides and a poster for educators, school resources, officers, counselors, and others who work with children to display. Supporting victims and families with a missing or sexually exploited child. NCMEC provides support services like crisis intervention and local counseling referrals to appropriate professionals. Our Team Hope program connects families with peers who've had similar experiences, can offer coping skills and compassion. So like I said, at this page in itself, it's got resources for the missingkids.org, the issues /sextortion. So let's go to where that site it's talking about now, right? Here is where the NetSmarts site is. The Extra Avenue. Sextortion is a type of blackmail used by offenders to acquire additional sexual content from a child, coerce a child into engaging in sexual activity, or obtain money from a child. Children can sometimes become victims of sextortion after sexting with someone they thought they knew and trusted. But NCMEC analysis has found that children who are victims of sextortion are often targeted and blackmailed by an individual they met online. That person may use deceit, coercion, or another method to obtain a nude or sexual image of the child before blackmailing them for more. NCMEC's cyber tip line receives reports regarding suspected child sexual exploitation, including sextortion, and has seen a dramatic increase in sextortion cases being reported. To learn more about sextortion, visit. We just got through reading all that. So here's the numbers again right here. If this is happening to you, it's important to remember that sextortion is a crime and you don't have to go through this alone. We want you to get the support you need. Reach out to a trusted adult, a friend, and NCMEC to learn more about sextortion, which is came from that page, okay? You're quite welcome. Execs need to be held more responsible. Yeah, it does. There's some apps that I know that for the children's classrooms and stuff, and it's said to have failed because the fact that anybody could get into their site and say that they're a kid, because some parents have tried that and made a fake account saying that they're a student when they're not a student. So we have to watch out because our kids are out there for these people to do this. Opportunity leads people to unalive themselves. Oh, yes, it does. Suicide, yes. You're right. Thanks for saying that. Some people are so good at manipulating teens that sometimes the teens don't even realize they've been tricked. Then they think they might be afraid to say anything about it because they've been threatened. They feel guilty and think people will blame them. They think that no one will believe them. A lot of other teens laugh at them. They make fun of them. They mock them. They feel confused and do not know what to do. They feel alone and do not know who they can reach out for help. Boys may feel more embarrassed than that this happened to them. It might seem like you would be able to tell someone online was not who they say they are, but reports made to NCNBC cyber tip line show that people go to great lengths and are really skilled at pretending to be someone they're not. Use these tips to help stop sextortion before it begins. For children, don't take images of yourself that you wouldn't want everyone to see. Don't forward anyone else's picture or video image. Imagine how betrayed you'll feel if this happened to you. Don't ask or pressure anyone to share an image. Many teens send sex because they've been asked to by a boyfriend, girlfriend, or crush. But you shouldn't ask anyone to take this kind of risk. Talk to a trusted adult or friend if you receive a revealing image, are being pressured into sending one, or have sent one. Talk to your friends about being active bystanders by not resharing and saying something if someone else does. Do not comply with blackmailing demands such as money or more images. For parents, you should start talking about online manners or netiquette. I like that word, netiquette. Etiquette. Yeah, it is very terrifying. Yeah, they should be held responsible for the murder of the child, you know. If a child goes to lengths of suicide because of their actions, I believe they should be charged with a murder. Do y'all agree? You can talk. Okay, it says you should talk about online manners or netiquette with your youngest children so they have a good foundation for later lessons. You can talk to young children about not trusting everyone they meet online. By the time they're teens, they'll be ready to discuss these risks. Yeah, but peer pressure knocks a lot of this down. You know what I'm saying? All these things you can teach your kids, and you got their peers to come in there, no matter what they were taught, a lot of times they get pressured into believing this other stuff. That's what's so sad and sadistic about it. Tell them that you are always here to help them, and if something happens, you'll be there for them because they should not go through something like that on their own. Help them identify 2 or 3 other trusted adults they can talk to if they do not feel comfortable talking to you. Exactly. Establish electronic rules. Time allowed. Free electronic zones. Bedroom. Free electronic times. Dinner. Family activities. Learn how to set up privacy settings and how to report inappropriate content. Most importantly, have open, respectful, and meaningful communication with your child. So here's some red flags right here. You're quite welcome. Recognizing the red flags associated with a sextortion can help you protect yourself or your family. For children, someone trying to groom you might flatter you. They might send you gifts like cell phones or money. They might discuss adult subjects like sex. Ask you to keep secrets, such as not telling anyone about the relationship. Turn you against your family and friends. They want you to depend on them. Share ask for revealing images. They will blackmail you if you shared revealing images or secrets with someone. They may threaten to make them public unless you send more content or money. Paying the money and sending additional content rarely stops the blackmailing. The blackmailer can continue to ask for more. Word times, payment of money, or additional content does not ensure that the images or videos won't be spread online. The blackmailer can't be trusted. Instead, tell an adult you trust and or report it to NCMEC immediately so they can help report it to law enforcement. For parents, red flags could include your child receiving gifts through the mail such as cell phones, gift cards, and webcams, calling unknown numbers, rejecting family and friends in favor of spending time alone, getting upset when he or she doesn't get online, minimizing the screen or turning off the monitor when you come into the room. Oh, I've seen a lot of kids do that. They try to hide their cell phones right quick when you come into the room. So we done watched this about healthy relations. I am a survivor of sextortion. It's called Sextortion. We watched them and we discussed this. Sextortion, the hidden pandemic. And there is module 1 film discussion. What is sextortion? There's other videos right here. So I think I'll go ahead and mute my mic yet again.
All right, today's date is November the 12th, 2013. The time now is approximately 7:28 in the morning. It's Investigator R.D. Vile, President is Detective Joe Phillips with Virginia Beach Police.
Do you remember that time period?
Yes.
Can you start to tell the jury what happened?
I had, a friend request from this Steve Crofton guy.
Prior to that date, had you ever had contact with a Steve Crofton?
No.
For the first time in history, we're letting strangers interact with our kids in the back of our car, in their bedrooms, in their homes.
That online environment has just created this access to children that was never there before.
Physiologically, they don't understand who is out there and what people are capable of.
It's been called a new form of sexual assault, online sextortion.
For HSI, the increase that we've seen is definitely sextortion.
Sextortion is probably the fastest growing crime in the world.
That's right, sextortion attempts are skyrocketing.
You know, we see cases come in for children as young as 8 years old, 9 years old. We're talking elementary school children.
As a predator, you can actually create an online profile that matches the preferences of that child.
He got information from our chats through my computer, information about my mom, about my sister. He had Google images of my home.
From 16 years ago to today, there is no mold. Anybody from any walk of life could be involved in this. I mean, we've had doctors and police and clergy.
Simply the fact of who the offender was very shocking in this case.
We intercepted a letter that he wrote to the Chinese embassy in Washington. If they would break him out, he would give them all the information on the F-18.
When you talk to me, please don't lie to me. You're a grown man, you're an officer in the Navy.
These grown men are going after these young girls and they try to kill them. Might not be in their intention, but they're killing them. And we have to stop it.
I would literally do anything to save one. There's so many kids out there that need saving that there's just not enough of us to do it. So a typical sextortion case would be that a child was in a forum, in a game, and they just start chatting. It starts out like anybody else. You're just talking about the game or talking about whatever forum they're in. It could be on anything. And that predator is a manipulator. They're very good at what they do. They know how to pick up on cues from that child. So if that child got in a fight with their mom, his or her mom, that predator is going to play on that. Like, I'm here for you. You can talk to me. Your mom's a jerk. Your mom's this.
So one of the scenarios we've seen when it comes to young girls is that it's going to be a teenage boy. They're going to look if the child's social media profile is open. They're going to try to profile who she likes, what her likes are, and what that would look like for her if she met somebody online. And then that's who they're going to become.
As a predator, you can actually create an online profile that matches the preferences of that child. So as that child interacting with that fake account and they're getting catfished, what they are experiencing is this super arousing stimuli where the catfish or the predator is telling them what they want to hear. They tell them about their favorite music, about their favorite food, about their favorite sports, and even pick a profile picture that looks like their favorite love interest.
I know you've been waiting for this for a while. I wanted to give you something special.
They're absolutely going to become that dream person, that Prince Charming for her. And it's going to be slow. It's going to be whatever she's first initially comfortable with, and then it's going to progress. Now, when I say slow, that doesn't mean that it's days, it's weeks, it's months. It could literally be 2 conversations in one day. We are aware of cases that we have had a child take off their clothes within an hour of meeting somebody online. Scenario B, we'll use a boy because it's important that we keep reiterating that boys have this happen to them. So sometimes with the boys, it could be that they think they're talking to a female, particularly like maybe an adult female. It's less like a teen type of situation and more with an adult. And then that adult will say to them, maybe like, I'll send you a photo of me naked if you'll send me a photo of you naked. And so the boy sends the one image to who he thinks is a girl, and then he's expecting another one back. And what he gets instead is, now I'm going to share this with everybody.
And then it can turn. If the child gets nervous or scared, then it turns into the threatening. Okay, well, you sent me that image of you. I'm going to send it to all of your friends on Facebook, all of your friends on Instagram. So you need to keep doing it. And then the child's scared and they don't know that they can just stop. They're children. They're scared. They think that whatever this predator says is true. It can get really dark really quickly. It never starts out as send me a nude picture of yourself. No, it's a slow transition, and then it's too late and the child feels overwhelmed, and then they continue because they're afraid. Sextortion is manipulating a child to send inappropriate pictures, to do inappropriate things on camera, or to eventually meet up with the predator. We as humans leak out information. We leak out information when we're on the internet and we're on chatting sites. It's going to happen. They're going to take that information and use it against you. They're going to talk about the football games this weekend. They're going to talk about homecoming. They're going to talk about the things that relate to you. They're never going to let it slip that they, have a job or they live in, their mother's basement or whatever it is. They are never going to reveal to you the true nature of who they are. So the best thing you can do is never have conversations, never share anything with anybody unless you absolutely know who they are. You know it's your best friend Susie who lives down the street because it's the same number you've been using for 3 years or the same, ID. But we think, oh, it's just the internet and it's a 16-year-old kid. They're not.
You may have a child who, because of what was going on online with them, can't or won't vocalize that to the parents, so they're trying to hide it. But they're going to show it. They're going to want to avoid certain places because maybe they're afraid the perpetrator is there. Maybe they don't want to go back to school because they think that whoever they were talking to online was a student or a teacher, so they don't know. So they're going to try to avoid that contact with them. They're going to not sleep well anymore. They're going to potentially either gain weight or lose weight. Unfortunately, cutting is also something that our little ones are, when they're being victimized, that they'll do. And the shame is causing them to want to fold in on themselves and just not talk to anybody and try to deal with it on their own, but they just can't.
And I think from what we've seen, it typically only stops when the child either tells an adult or the offender is identified in some kind of law enforcement investigation.
So as a kid, I played sports, I had all the friends, and I kind of just fit in. As a preteen, I was moody, to say the least. As a preteen, you have to follow all these social stigmas. You have to be skinny, you have to talk a certain way, act a certain way. You have to either be a cheerleader, and that makes you girly, or if you play sports, you're more manly type. I was a sports player, so I was already labeled as that. I'm tall, so I have that masculine feature. So I was already so insecure about how I looked. All of a sudden you have the first iPhone, and then you have Snapchat, and you can take pictures and it's instant. My mom always told me I was beautiful. I didn't believe her because I already had that mentality, and that's sad. But I did it, and I got Snapchat and started the filter process, filtering my face. I didn't look like that. I didn't have a lot of friends, but I had this one really good friend. She didn't go to school with me, but we would always hang out after school on the weekends, holidays, all those. And we came across this website and we just started going on it. It's like a chat room. You could do chat on text or you could do chat with video chat. That felt cool to be in front of a camera and people, all eyes on you. That's awesome in a 13-year-old's mind. After a couple months of doing that, rushing home, going to get on the computer because it was an addiction at that point, I got my own chat room, and so did she. And so on my own chat room, they would talk badly about my friend. That rubbed me the wrong way, so I kind of did not go on the website, the chat, for a while, but it was an addiction. And at one point I had to because I started feeling myself decline. I started feeling ugly again. There was one particular guy that I felt that I had more friends with. He was super cute. Swishy hair, the Justin Bieber look, every 13-year-old's dream. I thought I loved him. So I did. I showed him my boobs, my breasts. And one time, that was it. That's all he needed. He got information from our chats through my computer. And he watched me for a year and a half on my computer, whether I was on the chat or not. He got information about my mom, about my sister. He knew her eye color, her hair color, her occupation. He knew where my sister went to school, everything. He had Google images of my home, which I had never shown him, and I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. So he asked me to do things. And if I didn't do them, then he would hurt my family. And me, family's everything. So I'm gonna do everything as a 13-year-old that I can to protect my mom, to protect my dad, to protect my sister. So I did them, whether it was self-harm, cutting myself on my arms, or getting naked and just standing there. I did what I had to do. 2 years was too long. And that one tiny spark in me, I felt it ignite, and that was it. And I literally didn't even hang up the Skype call. I shut my computer as hard as I could, probably cracked the screen, ran downstairs. I knew what time the trains came because it was clockwork. So I went and I ran up the train tracks and I put my computer right on the tracks, perpendicular, and that train, bad memories, tears, self-hatred exploded right in front of me. And I felt in that moment that I was going to be able to get my life back, that I had control over my life for the first time ever, but really in 2 years. And that was awesome. That was badass. I felt good. I decided that some reason I went through this, and it wasn't for me to suffer. It wasn't for me to be traumatized and messed up and have the anxiety that I do. It was so I could make a difference. I needed to get up on that podium and pour my entire heart out and get this man what he deserved. So after hearing the judges and the attorneys and their attorneys talk and speak, I went up there, hands shaking, palms sweaty, and through breaths I was able to get out words, and I told him, you deserve everything that you're gonna get.
Good afternoon, HM.
I'm going to refer to you by your initials throughout the course of my questioning, okay?
Okay.
Can you tell the jury where you're from?
Bedford County,
And how old are you today?
16,
So in July of 2013, how old would you have been?
14,
And what grade would you have been going into?
9th grade,
I want to turn your attention to July 22nd and July 23rd of that year. Do you remember that time period?
yes.
Can you start to tell the jury what happened?
I had, like, a friend request from this Steve Crofton guy.
Prior to that date, had you ever had contact with a Steve Crofton?
No.
Was there a Facebook profile picture associated with him?
Yes.
Do you remember what Steve Crofton looked like? Just basically.
It was like a lifeguard type picture, like on the beach.
You just said you didn't know Mr. Crofton when he reached out to you. Did you accept his friend request?
I did.
And if you didn't know him, why did you decide to accept that friend request?
I looked at the mutual friends, and some of them were my friends.
After accepting this friend request, did you have any other contact with him?
Yes.
And what type of contact took place?
It was like messaging over Facebook.
And were you using a computer or were you using your phone?
My cell phone.
What was Steve Crofton's messages to you? What was he asking you?
At first, he was telling me, like, I was pretty and stuff.
And did it change after that?
Yes.
I'm going to show you a series of photos that have been marked as a group, Government's Exhibit 29. I'll ask you to take a look at those and then ask you whether you recognize them.
I do.
And what do you recognize those photos as?
My chest.
Are those pictures that you sent to Steve Crofton over Facebook?
Yes.
And is that some of the first photos that were sent to Mr. Crofton over Facebook?
Yes.
I'm sorry, HM, but after that happened, did Mr. Crofton ask anything else of you?
He did. He told me to send him more, and if I didn't, he would post them all over Stanton River and other websites.
What did you do in response to that?
I don't know. I was scared.
At some point, did you block Steve Crofton?
Yes.
Did you have contact with another Facebook profile during that same small window?
I had a friend request from Will Williams, and I didn't accept it. And then I saw that I had messages from it, and it wouldn't let you read it until you accepted the friend request. So then I accepted it, and that's when I got those messages.
So HM, when he's talking about the percentages, 23%, what do you recall that he was talking about?
Like posting them on the internet.
Now the final line, I believe it's, Stanton will love your pics. What did you interpret that to mean?
I thought it was my school, but we had just taken a trip to Stanton, so I didn't know.
What did you do after seeing these threats from Will Williams?
That's when I got really scared, and I called my mom and I gave her all my Facebook stuff, and then she called the law.
HM was our local victim. She was 14 years old at the time of the offense, living right here in Bedford County. She and her parents came forward, first speaking to a road deputy for the Bedford County Sheriff's Office, describing how she had been blackmailed by an individual on Facebook.
The realization of the scope of what he had been doing came mostly when we were examining his laptop.
There he found a myriad of victims who had been sexually exploited, not just in Bedford County, but all across the United States.
We identified, I think, in person, maybe 9 or 10, and no one came forward except HM.
She was shaken to her core by what he had done to her, even though there had only been a couple of hours of interaction between herself and Daniel Harris's online persona.
There was hundreds of other videos and images of clearly minor girls on Harris's electronic media.
She saved many more girls from being exploited and brought some justice to the other girls who had been afraid to speak out. HM's a real hero, and she should be commended for coming forward when so many other girls were threatened and scared into not doing so.
Yes, it is. It is sad. And it's very frustrating and sad. I really look at KM as a hero as well. Y'all please give a lot of love and hearts and commemorative of KM being a role model, standing up against this predator, standing up and helping stop this guy who's victimizing so many of our children. So thank y'all so much. If you see something, say something. Speak out. I think there was one other thing I was going to go over right quick. Show as well. Let me see right quick if I still have it up. Go back there. Go to the issue. Back. Let's see. Trying to get it to go back enough for me, so I really want to watch that Sextortion video. It's on Vimeo, everyone. Can't believe it's not showing, going back to. I think I know why. Let me go back here. Let me go to the issues. Let's keep going back to something I don't want to go to. To the issues, let's see. Okay, then I'll share the screen in a second. You're quite welcome. I really want to see that movie. You go to that website and so show that there's a screening thing that you could get. It's showing the other. Can y'all see this okay? Y'all here see the screen okay? That's for that girl came up. Okay, I hope that y'all can see this. This is sexual abuse material. The United States federal law defines child pornography as any visual depiction of sexually explicit conduct involving a minor less than 18 years old. Outside of the legal system, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children chooses to refer to these images as child sexual abuse material to most accurately reflect what is depicted, the sexual abuse and exploitation of children. Not only do these images and videos document victims, exploitation, and abuse, but when these files are shared across the internet, child victims suffer re-victimization each time the image of their sexual abuse is viewed. In a recent survey led by the Canadian Centre for Child Protection, 67% of CSAM survivors said the distribution of their images impacts them differently than the hands-on abuse they suffered because the distribution never ends and the images are permanent. It's important to remember CSAM consists of much more than just images and video files. While CSAM is seen and transmitted on computers and through other technology, these images and videos depict actual crimes being committed against children. The human element, children at risk, must always be considered when talking about this offense that is based in the high-tech world. The disturbing reality is that the internet platforms we use every day to connect with each other and share information, including social media, online gaming, and email, are now being used to disseminate and collect CSAM. Y'all need to watch your kids on online gaming as well. CSAM can be found in virtually any online realm. Even knew that it was on a kid's YouTube channel as well. Who are the victims? Well, there is a limited research regarding victims of child sexual abuse material. It is a growing field of research and study to better understand the child victims and the offenders. In March 2018, 2 studies on this topic were released. The first study is Production and Active Trading of Child Sexual Exploitation Images Depicting Identified Victims, which is based on data collected by NCMEC's Child Victim Identification Program through 2014. The second study is towards a global indicator on unidentified victims in child sexual exploitation manual, which is based on data in Interpol's global system. Low are key findings from these 2 studies. Girls appear in the overwhelming majority of it. Prepubescent children are at the greatest risk to be depicted in it. When boys are victimized, they are much more likely that girls will be subjected to very explicit or egregious abuse. On average, boys depicted are younger than girls and more likely to have not yet reached puberty. 78% of reports regarding online enticement involve girls, and 15% involve boys, and 8% of reports the gender of the child could not be determined by the numbers. So what I'm going to end up doing, there will be a study on this, on child sexual abuse as well. Okay, see what that said. Survey. So they had a recent survey. Child victims suffer victimization each time their image. I think I will need to get that survey, and I'll need to make sure to get this material and that material as well. And then we'll go over child sexual abuse another day. Thank you for coming, everyone, and God bless you. Lots of love for y'all. Thank you, y'all. God bless. Please share the information. You're welcome. God bless y'all.